The terms for tonight that we always think about here in the St. Louis Metro is tonight is Guns and Hoses night. And that event, if you go to their website, STL Guns in with an N, gunsandhoses.com, if you go to ticket info, it is sold out. But we'll talk to these gentlemen about where some random tickets may be around. It does mention on here maybe your local hair salon location or the weigh-ins at Helen Fitzgerald's on November 20th, which is yesterday. So we missed that. So I don't know. I think that is wonderful. The St. Louis community helped do that because this does help a great cause that we're going to talk about. So I've got all the Chiefs. This studio is the safest place to be right now. In the city and county of St. Louis.
And make sure to watch us on the webcams.
Yes,
you
so
can
folks,
see the crowd.
If you want to see the crowd in the studio here, we've got them all in here. And so to my immediate right, I've got Chief Greg Brown of the Eureka Fire Protection District. And then, let's see, next to him, we've got Dennis Jenkerson, right? Chief Jenkerson. Right. And then next to him, we got Chief John Hayden, right? I got everybody's names right? Okay. So we got, I see the fire guys are standing next to each other for solidarity, right?
Well, the police guy's sitting down, so we're good.
Yeah. We could tell a lot of jokes about Chief Mike Wiegand, couldn't we, Greg Brown?
We could tell a whole bunch of
a whole bunch of. I noticed you didn't invite him today. Yeah.
Well, he's getting ready tonight because his daughter, who is a firefighter, with Metro West, is boxing tonight in the show. So it promises to be a good evening. He's going to have to be down there and root for the firefighters at least in one bout.
So does he think he's in like Rocky or something? Does he think he's like one of the coaches? Has he got the robe on and all that? Is he really getting into this? I bet he is.
I think he's probably thinking that he's like Mickey, the old guy who kind of wanders around in a daze.
That's wonderful. So all of y'all are very involved in Guns and Hoses year in, year out, and you do a lot of behind the scenes. This is not something that just pops up the day before Thanksgiving. So Chief Greg Brown, tell me, I'll start with you first. We'll go down the line here. What's your involvement with this? Tell us a little bit about this operation tonight.
Well, obviously, it's the start of the holiday season in St. Louis. It's a great event, and tickets are sold out.
That's incredible.
If you know somebody who might not be using a ticket, that's where you go.
It's about the only, so go to your favorite local fireman or police officer, and they may be able to help you out.
Borrow and steal to see if they will give you one of their tickets because they are all sold out.
So how many tickets? What does that mean? The whole Enterprise Center.
The whole Enterprise Center. There'll be over 18,000 people there tonight.
Wow!
For the event. And it's a great event, and it's the safest place to be in St. Louis.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Chief Jenkerson, let's talk a little bit about, now ticket sales are important. It's great you sold out, but I've been to the event before. I'm going tonight. We're bringing a whole ton of the FM News Talk family with us. Mark Cox is coming with his wife. We got Denise Schaefer from the Morning Crew coming, Trish Siekman from the Morning Crew, Tony Colombo, who's in here, who's on every show at 97.1, is coming as well, and so we'll be well represented. I've been there before. I've seen the big checks. Not the ticket sales are awesome. Thank you, St. Louis community and beyond. I'm sure a lot of Southern Illinois folks are there too. Thanks for coming. But you've got some great corporate and civic sponsorships too, right, to make tonight a huge success.
Right. This has exploded. This started off with Anheuser-Busch being the primary sponsor here, and then it kept growing. So now we have what's called a Ring of Champions, where people pay a surprisingly amount of money just to sit close to the boxing ring. So, and it keeps getting bigger. We're running out of places to put tables.
That's fantastic.
So, anybody you can think of who gets involved with the charities in our area gets involved and shows up at this event.
Yep, and they'll do a lot of those check presentations between the rounds, right? They'll bring everybody up and
right. Well, last year we raised $700,000.
Oh my goodness,
okay,
that's fantastic.
And we got our fingers crossed that we're going to beat that this year. So.
Well, that's fantastic. Chief John Hayden, is this your first year as chief for this event, or were you already installed last year?
No, this is my first year at Guns N' Hoses as chief of police, although I have fought in it 3 times.
Oh, I should have asked each of you that. Now, Chief Brown, you've fought in this before, right?
I fought in it
And are you
twice.
a coach this year?
I have been coaching. Yep.
Okay. And Chief Jenkerson, have you?
No, I was on the ticket sales side.
Oh, yeah, you're a smart man. And Chief Hayden, you fought in it, huh?
I have.
How'd you do? You want to talk about it or not?
Well, I think my daughter said it best. I explained to my daughters one year. I said, "Hey, I had a walkover one year. I lost a decision in the second year, and then the third time, I lost a decision, but everybody thought I won." She says, "Wait a minute. You're 0-3. I said, I think that's right, but no, it's a good time. It's certainly for a great cause. And
hey, talk about the cause. Let's talk about the cause. Backstoppers, right?
Surely, Backstoppers. I think the name of the organization says it all. They are the backstop for us when we either kill in the line of duty or suffer a catastrophic incident, and that goes for all first responders in the area. And so, Backstoppers has been there. They really, the goal when they have a death or catastrophic injury, the goal is to make the family debt free. And so they really work hard on trying to pay off mortgages. They assist with tuition and that type of thing from child care all the way through college. And so really come to our aid. They're our first responders. And because Backstoppers is a private charity, they have the flexibility. They step in immediately when there is a catastrophic incident, right? Absolutely. They're right there the same day with help, with financial assistance. And again, that continues throughout the life of the spouse, and certainly through the college years of the children. Yeah, Chief Brown, let's talk about the this is a one-night event, but Backstoppers, the charity that supports Backstoppers, is a year-round 365 mission. Talk about kind of the scope and breadth of the amount of families, the amount of money that's given out every year, kind of like the current status of Backstoppers. Well, the Backstoppers has been around since 1959, and as we said before, they step in when there's a loss, a line of duty loss with our emergency services personnel. And the Backstoppers, all year round, there's events that go on. There's chili cook-offs, there's barbecues, there's dances, there's raffles, there's anything you can think of that goes on with different groups in the entire area that Backstoppers serves that raise money for the Backstoppers to go to the fund. So the Backstoppers, while the board is there all the time, ready to step in and help. We hope we don't have to, but we continue to try to raise funds every year to be there when we are needed. Some years there's nothing that happens, and that's a great year for Guns and Hoses. But then there's years where we have multiple line of duty fatalities, and they're there to step up every single time. And also when there's a catastrophic injury, they step in and we'll immediately start to help out the families. Yeah, Chief Jenkerson, to make this very real, how about this year? How's this year been? Have there been some families that have been affected in the worst possible way, where a brave man or woman in the fire service, EMS, or first responders have there been some losses this year? Right. Unfortunately, we just had one. We had an officer, an auxiliary officer from the east side, who lost his life in a pursuit. So we're picking that up right away. The Backstoppers organization, we had our fingers crossed that we weren't going to have any this year. But like I said, we just had one. We've had a couple catastrophic injuries to officers that we stepped in right away and provided for them. And I will say that the officers that they stepped in on are doing just remarkably well. It's great. So it's great, giving them a little bit of some holiday cheer. Right. We all are excited. A lot of us are excited about the holidays. Look forward to it. It's a time of hope, peace, and love. But we can never forget about those families that may have an empty seat at the table, right? No. And they have a hole to fill this year, and our love goes out to them. Right. The Backstoppers, what people really don't see, our area knows what Backstoppers does. When we go to other cities and other big cities, New York, Chicago, Detroit, and we talk about whether it's fire service or police service, it always comes back around to us like, how do you guys do this with Backstoppers? And it's a bunch of firemen and policemen and corporate leaders that are involved, but it's the people of the city and county and the region that step up and make Backstoppers what it is, and it's only in St. Louis. You can't find it anywhere else in the country. Yeah, let's talk a little bit more about that, Chief Hayden. So I see you got some friends. Who are your friends you brought in here? That's just a couple of members of my staff, Sergeant Barrett and Sergeant Mopkins. Hello, Sergeants. How you all doing? Good to see you. I bet the men and women I hate to call them the rank and file, but you chiefs are at the top, right? So all the people that make you look good, right? I bet they get excited about this event. And when I'm down there, I see nothing but red and blue everywhere, and the participation is really amazing. Absolutely, it's a fun night. I mean, hey, there's a little potential for a little minor injury in there, but overall, it is a really fun. Like I said, it's good training. It's very exciting, and it's fun for the entire family. One of the coolest things I think is not only is there action on the floor in the rink, but there's a lot of action out in the hallways. You'll have the bagpipers,
right? The bagpipers walking around out in the outer chambers. Boy, that really gives you goosebumps.
Yes.
You know, they'll just break into music suddenly every time to the event. And, you know, playing Amazing Grace or whatever. It's really remarkable. Chief Brown, let's talk about some of the fights tonight. We're gonna see some good action. We got some good athletes performing tonight.
We've got some great athletes going to be there tonight. There is some professional fighters that are going to be in there, and then there is the police officers and firefighters. We're going to see just some outstanding fights. One of the fights I talked about a little bit earlier, Chief Mike Wiegand's daughter, Katie Wiegand, is fighting. And
I saw her training video. She's for real.
She's for real. Yeah. She does a lot of the extreme fitness type activities as well. It's going to be an excellent fight. The first fight out of the gate is 2 heavyweights. And that promises to be a fight you're not going to want to miss.
And so what's the format? This is basically it's kind of like Olympic style boxing, right? Like they wear the headgear and all that.
Right.
It's 3 rounds, right? Is it 3 rounds?
3 1-minute rounds.
1 minute rounds.
And then we've also got some MMA matches tonight. Which will be
cool.
Longer rounds than that, but there'll be 3 of those. So it's going to be an outstanding night of action and the camaraderie of the people. There's a lot of times when you get to the middle of the night, there's more people that are standing out in the walkway areas.
It's a social biggest social occasion I think of the year. Yeah,
without a doubt, it is the biggest social event. And then this year also, with it being sold out, there's going to be viewing down at Ballpark Village, I believe.
Okay.
The fight party
on the big screens in Ballpark Village. That's good to know.
Yep.
So folks, if you don't have tickets, can't get tickets, go there. Chief Jenkerson, I want to wrap up by asking you, so if tickets are sold out, but folks can always help out the Backstoppers, right? Year-round, how can they do that?
You can go to backstoppers.org and make a donation. Backstoppers is actually run by a membership-type basis, so join the Backstoppers. It's very easy to do. Just go to the just go to the website and sign up for the level you want. Easy to do.
And Chief Hayden, last thing I wanted to ask you about. We've had a couple. We've had some rough times here in the city and the county the last few years, but this year, I think we end on a high note. We had the PGA event in the few months ago in the summer, so that was awesome. Brought the city together. This is the event I always think of every year that brings everyone together. This is very important for our community, isn't it?
Absolutely. Like I said, it's a great time. It's very important. Of course, it's a great cause, and I'm just looking forward to it, being there and enjoying myself tonight.
Awesome. Well, Chief Jenkerson, Chief Hayden, Chief Brown, Sergeants, thank you all for coming in. Thank you to all of you, seriously, for everything you do for all of our listeners and our vast listening audience. We are big supporters here of fire, EMS, and first responders. I just want to thank you folks for everything you do. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Hey, we'll continue with the Annie Fry Show here on FM News Talk 97.1. We got lots more